All right, welcome back to the Mental Health Toolbox. I am Patrick Martin, and today I am going to teach you a quick win using Google Keep Notes to level up your productivity. All right, so stick with us, and I hope you enjoy this. All right, so let's jump in. I'm going to be teaching you how to use Google Keep Notes in order to level up your productivity. And I have a passion for learning life hacks, for finding ways to be more productive in my time management. Google Keep Notes is something, as a therapist, I often refer to clients in session about ways to be more attentive and to put intention with your intention, and to be more mindful and more productive and more intentional in how we plan our days, so that we're doing things on purpose and for a purpose. And really, for anyone, but especially for those struggling with anxiety and depression, time management is crucial. There's a term in psychology called behavioral activation, and it's the whole premise of behavioral activation is that we improve our mood by getting busy, right? And more importantly, feeling productive. And it's really easy to feel like we're spinning our wheels if we don't know where our time is going, because if we're not tracking it, if we're not being intentional about it, even if we are getting things done and we're being productive, we're not giving ourselves credit for it. And so it's going to be much easier to shame ourselves with that negative self-talk. It's kind of like a budget, right? Dave Ramsey always says, if you don't tell your money where to go, you're going to wonder where it went. Well, time is the same way, and so it's really important to have some tracking system for whether a to-do list or a diary, or even if it's just a scratch paper, to prioritize what it is that we want to accomplish. And so for me, I've tried out different tools, some of which have been Todoist, which is a great to-do app, Wunderlist, Wunderlist, Wunderlist with a U. Another one is Evernote. Evernote is a popular notebook application, desktop and mobile, that allows you to actually stack your projects into different kind of digital notebooks, which is great, and I really depended on Evernote for a long time. But when I discovered Google Keep Notes, it was really a game changer for me, because it's short, sweet, simple, and it syncs with your phone, which is always nice, right? Convenience, if you look at the triad of motivation, convenience is one of the big factors. And so being able to get things done quickly at a glance is really important, to be able to eyeball, just like if you remember those at a glance weekly planners, or maybe you have one. The beauty about those is literally you open it up and you have the whole week there at a glance. Well, that's kind of the same premise with Google Keep Notes, except that you can actually color coordinate and label things. So I'll be showing that to you right now. So let's go ahead and jump in. And so we'll head over to Google Chrome. All right. And first thing I want you to notice is up here on the right, you'll see that there is your little waffle icon. A lot of people I've talked to in session aren't even aware that they have a Google application folder here. And most people are familiar with Gmail and Google Drive, but they're not necessarily familiar with the other features they offer. So if you click on your little waffle icon up here in your Google browser, and if that's not popping up for you, it's because you probably don't have Google set to your home page for your browser. That's fine. Just go to google.com when you open up your browser, and as long as you're logged into your Google account, you should see this option right here with your little icon here. If not, you'll see an option to log in, and then that'll give you access to these features. So usually you'll just see the most popular applications here. Like I said, your Gmail, your Drive, Google Docs, etc. But if you scroll down, nobody really uses Google Plus anymore. If you scroll down, then you'll see your YouTube and some stuff that even I'm not familiar with. I haven't really touched, like Google Ads and whatnot. But then you'll see this little light bulb right here. So the little light bulb is Google Keep Notes. And this is built into your web browser. If you're using your phone, then you have to download the app. But it syncs beautifully. So again, one of my favorite features is that whether I'm on my phone or my desktop, I can quickly access the information that I need to be top of mind. And let me show you how that works. So click onto Google Keep here. And then you'll see I don't have anything entered here. It's a different Google account. You'll see that it's blank. So if you're just starting off, the first thing you'll notice is on the left-hand side here, you have notes, reminders, labels, archive, and trash. And right here, you'll see take a note. So let's just put this to practice for a second. I want to point some things out to you here on the bottom. When you go to take a note, you'll see reminders. You can collaborate with other people, much like Google Docs. You can actually work on the same note with somebody else. Like let's say you're brainstorming on a project. And so you can do that pretty seamlessly. You can color coordinate, which is really neat. I like this feature. At first I wasn't really sure, because I don't typically color coordinate things, but because it is a very visual application, it's nice to have, let's say, for example, all your to-dos in one color, all your to-do lists, and then so forth, like all your financial stuff in another color. And it makes it much easier when you're just sliding through your notes to tease those out. You can also add images, which is cool. That can be very useful. And I'll show you some of these other features here, one of my favorite being the checkboxes. So let's say, for example, I started to-dos personal. I'll just put personal, whatever. And then let's just say laundry, dishes, fix the, door, bathe the dog, and so forth. Create YouTube video, right? And you can right click and just auto correct anything there that might be misspelled. Very nice little feature. So I have this and I'm like, oh man, I wish I could make this, turn this into checkboxes. Or let's say it wasn't even designed to be a to-do list, but then later on you decide you want it to be a to-do list. All you have to do is come down here to where it says more and then say show checkboxes. And all of a sudden, just like that, your note is now a to-do list, which is fantastic. Because now you can actually just check things off, because let's say you're brainstorming things that you want to do or that need to get done, and you just keep adding to this list. The nice thing is, let's say, as I encourage my clients to do the night before, or when you're going to bed, look at your list and think about the next day, and when you have pockets of time to get things done and what you anticipate your day looking like. And then let's say that you probably know you won't get to doing the dog right away, but you want to make creating your YouTube video a priority. You just slide that puppy right on up like that with a little waffle thing here. You just drag and drop, and you can put that at the top of your list. And this makes it extremely easy to just eyeball and prioritize the things that you want to get done, which I love, because I like digital notes over paper, because then rather than having to cross something out and go back in and draw an arrow or renumber stuff, all you have to do is slide it up and down. So it makes it really, really, really easy in that regard. All right, so the next thing I want to show you is the color coordinating. So let's say I want my to-do list to be blue. All right, so now I can do this to all of my to-do lists, and then I know that they're blue. The next thing I want to do is click on more, and I can add a label. Now I can create a label for to-do lists, and you'll see a little bubble appeared here on the bottom. So that means that all of the to-dos I can just tag as to-do lists, and you'll actually see those on the left-hand side now, that a little tab appeared that says to-do list, which is fantastic. All right, so the nice thing about this is you can also come back and add another tag. So let's say I want to make it not just a to-do list, but I want to add another label for personal, right? So now it's also under personal and to-do lists, because I might have other things that are personal that are not to-do lists, and so it's kind of nice to kind of lump those together. All right. Okay, cool. So the next thing you can do if you wanted to say export this to a Google document so you can print it out, all you have to do is come over here again to the More button and then copy to Google Docs. And that'll immediately populate a Google document that you can just convert to Word, or you can print out or email as an attachment, so that, you know, if you have a to-do list, say for your kid's chores, I use this all the time for my kid, I'll put chores and then I'll just print that puppy out and then tape it on the fridge, and then she can have a quick reference to what the to-dos are for her chores. And I think this is just really, really handy. So I'm a list guy, so I love the to-do list feature of this, but you can make any kind of note you want. And again, you can color coordinate them, label them, and eventually what you'll have here is a whole list of different color coordinated sticky notes. And I'll show you kind of what that looks like. Let's just say wanted several lists. Again, you would just keep creating notes. And let's say I do one for blog ideas. You could just go ahead and put like self-care, productivity, I don't know, travel, food, etc. And then again, you would just label that as something else. Let's say blog ideas are yellow. And then you would just add another label like we did before. And we'll just say blog ideas. All right. Very good. And so now what you'll see is Google will automatically just kind of, they will all be on the same screen in no order of priority. And you can see, let's say, you know, this might be easy to glance at once you have, you know, a couple up there. But when you have like 20, 30, 40, 50 notes or more, then they're not so easy to see. So a really little handy feature you'll notice is on the top right handle up here, top right corner of the note, is a little like push pin. And that push pin allows you to pin that note so it keeps it in order of priority. So that tells Google Keep that this note is important, and so you want it to be shown at the top of your notes rather than being pushed down with everything else, because every time you create a note on Google Keep, it will push the notes further down and down and down and down, and there really is no end. So the little push pin here makes it really easy to keep those notes you refer to most often at the very top, which is super handy. And like I had mentioned, if you come over here to the left-hand side of the screen, you'll see every tag you create creates a new little option. And so if I just want to see blog ideas, it'll just show me blog ideas. Or if I just want to see personal notes, it'll just show me personal or to-do lists, etc. And like I said before, you can have more than one tag to a note. So you can start to see how powerful this simple tool is, and that you can really start to just brain dump and brainstorm as things come to you. Because I don't know about you, but for me, when I have ideas, it's not usually when I'm sitting down like trying to think and concentrate and meditate on having good ideas. It's usually when I'm taking a shower or brushing my teeth or bathing my dog or doing some kind of passive activity like the dishes, or while I'm listening to a podcast, that my brain starts getting into that alpha state of ideas. And the nice thing about Google Keep is you can just pull out your phone and drop that idea in there so you don't forget, and then come back to it later, and no necessarily in order of priority, because you can always prioritize stuff later, like I showed you, by sliding stuff around. So I love Google Keep. I hope you find it useful as well. And like I said, you know, it's really important for your mental health to do things on purpose and for a purpose, so that we don't feel like we're playing pin the tail on the donkey all the time in life. You know, if you can do things with intention, you're going to be more satisfied, right? Satisfaction comes from doing things on purpose with intention, and then seeing those things come to fruition as planned. And not that things always go according to plan, they usually don't all the time 100%, but certainly when you put things out, you know, in your schedule or on a list, and then you attack them in order of priority, it empowers you. And that's where that behavioral activation concept comes from, because then we are taking a position of power. We're not just being tossed about by the wind. We're doing things. We are at the helm of the ship of our life. We are the captain of our ship, and we make things happen. And that's why at the end of my videos, podcasts, I'd say go make good things happen. This is what I'm talking about. We're doing things on purpose. And even if we know we can't get to them right now, that's okay. We're still putting them down and writing with the intention of doing them as long as they're important to us. And always keeping our finger on the pulse of the situation in terms of our schedule and our time and how we want to use it. And this really allows us to approach life in a balanced way and with a mindful attitude and knowing, how we can tend to our priorities, whether that's time with family or that's work or meaningful projects. We're taking a balanced approach to life so that we can know that we're really making the best use of our time. Like I said, much like Dave Ramsey says, rather than wondering where your money went, you can tell it where to go. Same thing is true with your time. And not to say that we need to have every moment spoken for, but the idea is that you're in control and you're doing things on purpose. Okay? So I hope you found this helpful. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're listening to it on the podcast, make sure you subscribe, leave an iTunes review, and be sure to check out this video if you haven't already. And I hope you found it helpful. I would love to create content that is curated for you and for your needs and your interests. So if there's something you want me to speak to directly, you can use the comments or the contact me form there in the description, okay? All right, and until next time, go make good things happen. Bye-bye now.